Hey Taurus sisters, it's Amy. I want to tell you another blessing and not an alternative to Christmas, because we're not looking to replace Christmas, but an alternative to a way to be with your family at Christmas without having anything to do with Christmas. And so it's just a personal story and a blessing. And so I hope that it encourages you that if you are missing Christmas, if your family is resentful of you not being with them, here's an idea. So I'll just tell like a story. A year or two, maybe 2 years before I started keeping Torah, first of all, my extended family does not keep Torah. They're mainstream Christians, and they think that this stuff is, loco. But a couple, and we used to do Christmas big. They still do. So a couple years before I started keeping Torah, there's a lot of nieces and nephews, and we all said, let's stop buying Christmas presents for all the nieces and nephews, and instead, let's have an experience. So this is a good thing, right? A lot of you have been doing this or did this. And so we went to Great Wolf Lodge, all of us, like 4 families, tons of little cousins, and my mom and dad, so the grandma and grandpa, and it was super fun and wonderful. However, it cost a bundle. And we were like, oh, we don't want to do that again. We spent way more than if we had just bought presents. So the next year, we got a lodge. We all go to a lodge together, and we have been doing this ever since. So the next year, we went to a lodge where we all can stay and fit. All the families, we can all, and it's bunk beds, and we don't care. We're all family. And we let all the little kids bring their Nerf guns, and we just let them go crazy and have Nerf gun wars and take the mattresses off the beds and make forts and just the whole bit. It is super, super fun. And all us moms, we just potlucked. We planned out our meals and we potlucked, and it was the most wonderful, fun weekend. And we did it around Christmas time, but not right around Christmas time. We did it because the place we were going wasn't available right then. So we did it we did it in the month of December, but it was in the beginning of December. And we were like, well, that's a hit. Let's do that again. So we planned to do it just every year after that. And we have. So here's what happened, though. After that first year, we did this lodge thing, and we called it camp. We called it family camp, but we used our last name. I'm just not going to tell you my last name. So we called it family camp. And my kids, they just couldn't wait to go back again next year. Well, wouldn't you know it? Right after that family camp is when the Father started opening my eyes to Christmas and why I shouldn't be doing it and why I should be doing the feasts and all these things. So then I came to Torah very shortly after that family camp. And not long after that, I was very fully on board with Torah, and I went and I told my family, I'm not doing Christmas anymore. I'm not coming over at Christmas time. I'm not doing your Christmas dinners. I'm not doing Christmas presents. I'm not participating in Christmas. And of course, like a lot of you, my parents especially, were extremely upset and somewhat understandably so, right? And they felt personally hurt. And a lot of you have told me that your family said, what, you don't want to spend time with us? Here's the blessing. What do you think I said when that was their biggest thing? You don't love us? You don't want to be with us? I was able to say, I will still go to family camp, because family camp was not Christmassy. We didn't take a Christmas tree. We hadn't done any presents there. They just played Nerf. We had a potluck every meal, and we hung out and talked and did puzzles and played games. I said, let's keep doing that. I will come to that, because it's just like it's winter camp. There was nothing Christmassy. So if you keep it like that, we are happy to go to that. And so that is how it has been every year since. And so because that's the deepest offense, right? Is you don't love me. You don't want to spend time with me. And I was able to immediately just close that down and help them to realize you're misunderstanding, you're misinterpreting that. And here's the proof. Because I not only love you and want to spend time with you, but I still am willing to invest an entire weekend to go to family camp with you. So long, and I make it clear always, so long as there's no Christmas. If you start Christmasing it up, my kids and I cannot participate in that any longer. So I look back at this, sisters, And all of my local friends know this story because it's so amazing to me that the Father, I really, really, really think the Father put that family camp in place right before I did this to sort of soften the blow for my family, but also to bless my children because they just love being with their cousins for that whole weekend, and to just make sure my family knows in the midst of me walking away from their faith that they know I'm not walking away from them, and that they have some evidence that is not personal, because of course it's not, but sometimes it's nice to have evidence of that. And this is just such a huge way to demonstrate that truth to them. So 2 things I want you to take away from this, I think, is one, just be encouraged that the Father, if you're just now coming to Torah and you're really nervous about these conversations and situations, which is understandable, the Father is already, Yehovah, Almighty God, is in the future already. He's already there. He's there a year. If you're going to fully commit to Torah tomorrow, He is a year ahead of that. And He knows how the next year is going to go, how you're going to get through all the feasts, how you're going to, drop my water bottle. He knows how He's going to make a way for you to keep all those Shabbats that you're nervous about keeping. And He knows how He's going to provide a way for you to not participate in Christmas. And even if you do offend people, He's still going to enable and strengthen and empower you to follow Him more than you keep following these traditions of man. He's already there. So this is just my story. This is how He did it in my life. He was already there, and He planned out this way for us to have this winter family camp. And we call it winter camp. We call it winter family camp. And we usually do it in early December. He planned that out for me in my situation. And how He's going to work this out for you, I have no idea. But be encouraged. I want you to hear stories. And if you have stories like this, tell us in the comments. Tell your sisters in real life. Encourage each other. Because walking away from these things, the world makes it hard on us. And we need these words of encouragement, these testimonies, these praise reports that He has it under control. And I'm not saying that me walking away from Christmas is like all okay and happy roses and rainbows with my family. It is not. But at least I have this. And so we just did it this past weekend, and it was wonderful again. It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The other thing I want you to take away from me telling you this story is, and you probably already are taking this away, maybe this is something you can do with your extended family. Maybe you can find a building or a location to rent. Maybe it's your house. Maybe all the family can come to your house. Rent, even if you can rent, be really creative, because I know cost is an issue. Can you rent some RVs to park around your house for family to stay in, but you're still all in one location together? If you're in the South, can you go camping in December? Do people do that in the South? How can you, because this is a time thing, right? It's about spending time with your family in a non-Christmas way. And you have to, of course, say that. Let's all get together. Let's get an Airbnb. Let's rent some RVs and park them in the backyard together. Or let's rent a lodge or something. Look up the Christian camps. A lot of Christian camps are not busy this time of year. And they have like a lodge that you can rent. And sometimes they have a kitchen that you can use too. My sisters and I, we don't even have a kitchen. We have a little tiny sink, and you can't even hardly wash dishes in it. So we take our crock pots. And yes, I use the plastic liner, and so there's really no dishes to wash. And we do use paper for this one because we can't wash dishes. So it's a good time to use paper. And so we actually do it with just a sink. So think outside the box, and suggest doing winter camp. Another time to do it is after Christmas, because usually the first couple weeks in January, the Christian camps are not busy then either. And just make it clear you want to organize this. And if you take charge of it, then you can be a little bossy and remind people there cannot be Christmas. You will not bring Christmas, or however you feel convicted. But we don't bring Christmas presents. We don't exchange. My family talks about Christmas, but whatever. I don't think I can tell them what they can and cannot talk about. So they talk about it around me and my kids, making their own plans. But I'm like, whatever. I respect them, and they can talk. We just won't participate in the conversation, and we don't participate in the activities. We had a wonderful time. I have a wonderful family. I love them tremendously. And most of all, I have a good father who planned this all out for us. So he will take care of you too. I can't say it won't be hard at times, but he will take care of things. He will give you what you need and then some, I promise you. You just walk in obedience with love and humility and respect towards those around you. All right, see you tomorrow. I hope. I'm going to try to start making videos more often. If you have ideas for videos, let me know, because I want to be here more often for you. And don't watch all of them. Goodness, I doubt that you have time for that. But, you know, I'll make the titles say what they are so you can pick the ones you want. Bye.